Okay, good morning. It's better now than never. How's everyone in YouTube land? I'm being distracted a little bit, you guys. But good morning. Excuse the noise in the background. It's coming from the front of my view, the cars and all. So hopefully you all can hear me and I'm not too deep this morning. It is morning. I am still lying in the bed. I have been awake. Of course, I normally pray, different things at different times. So, how's everyone out there? Hope that everyone is being safe and, having blessed moments with your family. Um, we all know that God do things for reasons, and the reason is to be still and know that I am God. So, this is a long time coming video, which I know I should have done ahead of time. And not fun being a procrastinator, not a good thing at all. And sometimes I can be, but I do like to be obedient to God. I'm on here because He's been tremendously, awesomely great to me and my family as always. There's never a dull moment with Him. He is a good God, a good Father, and I love Him. I am on here, though, to tell my testimony. I could not say anything. It's been too long saying anything as it is already. So, first thing first, starting with my job. When I started inquiring about this job, I had told God this is what I wanted. I had been out of job, I think, for like 6 months, and He had given me favor, practically or basically, on this job because He had held this job long enough for me to get all my information in. Had me to go online to do my work to get into the job, and I mean everything was just like smooth sailing in some sense, and then some sense I had, of course, to work to push my way forward to do so. So, of course, being in faith and having faith to do so, to get over certain hurdles, these are things we have to do. God is there, but of course He wants us to put forth what we need to put forth, in doing what we need to do to get to the next level. I don't know what all this is. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry. I did have like a allergy flare up, like a asthma flare up, and I don't mean to jump from one subject to the next, but because of these marks on here, that this is what that is. I have not had a asthma flare up since 5, 6, 7, 8 or more years. So I know that was an enemy attack of Him. So literally, I had to step down from my job and go on leave because it was causing such pain here and in my stomach. But going back to, because I'm getting ahead of myself, going back to before, God had given me favor from the very beginning of what my desire was, for this job for me. So, God has just been so good to me. He's just been so faithful. I entered into this job, and I know it's a ministry doing it, in the healthcare field. And it's something, like I said, I've always wanted to do because I love to help people. So that's number one blessing. He held that job for so long for me. And they've been faithful, or I should say He's been allowing them to be faithful to me as much as I, could have been faithful or had been trying to be faithful in the job itself. So going from that to my bills, I did promise God that I would take care of my debts, because in the Word, the Bible speaks to take care of your debts. You didn't want anyone to hold your money, for a period of time. So, you have to do the same thing. You have to abide by the same law, because we do have to keep the laws of the land So we have to, um, like the prayer says, of our debtors, and lead us not into temptation before the temptation, but the debts. So yeah, our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is heaven. Give us today our debts as we forgive our debtors. Because, I mean, they're really not even supposed to be holding over our heads a certain amount of time for us to pay our debts. But we also still have to do the right thing on our part to continue to pay our debts, So God has everything else under control as long as we do what we're supposed to do there again ourselves and make that step first forward. So I've been paying my debts faithfully behind the job that he has given me, and having favor on that job to be able to, and it's just exactly what I wanted, even the pay times that I wanted, everything was perfect. It got just what I wanted. So when we get what we want from God, we need to, when he does what he do for us, we need to do what he asks us to do. It's so much easier. You know what I'm saying? It's always easy to go left, but it's easy enough to abide by what he wants us to do faithfully as well. Because um, it's just that simple. We make things hard for ourselves. I can vouch for that for so many times. We make things hard for our own selves, and we procrastinate and we prolong the time for us to receive what we need to receive from God and our blessings. If I'm sounding a little funny, y'all, and I'm trembling like that I was just on the machine, and it kind of makes me kind of like, waver. If anybody know about nebulizer, that's what it does. Excuse me. Yeah, so God is faithful, so we also have to be faithful. We should be, because he's a loving God, and he does all he can do for us. If it hadn't been for him, where would we be? We can't do anything without God. We do anything without God, we either fail, or mess up, or make a worse mess of things. Period. So the debts I've been paying, plus my they've been doing really good. Even though the enemy tried to make it seem like that, I'm not getting anywhere, but I am, because I'm enjoying it. I love to pay out things. I love to do, work. Period. I love to, be in order and take care of business. That's just me. So after the debts, I've been also, paying my tithes pretty faithful. And I've been praying and asking God, because I don't want to be just to be doing. I know it goes back to Him, but it also in turn helps whoever is feeding into your life with the Word. So I have a hard time back and forth battling that. What should I do? But that's when you're supposed to trust in God. You know what I mean? And once we know that that's what we should do, to trust and believe in, as I said, accept His process, or believe His process, believe in His process as you go through it. This is what we have to do. So, I've been praying, to kind of like get out of that battling type of thing, within my mind and in my heart, to try to just go forward, and believe and trust in God that I'm doing the right thing. So most of the time when I do, it works out. And as I've been paying my tithes, the bills, the overhead, I guess, bills would be coming, like far as the electric. So I would pay like partial of it at a time, while I'm paying other bills in turn. I would pay partial of that bill. I paid partial of that bill like a half 100, right? Half of the bill. Say it was 200, I paid half of it. Well, the time comes around again, the same month of that bill being paid. One time I extended the time just a little bit. God sent money, seemed like out of nowhere. And one of those times when I look back to, even though He sent the money, it was double my pay on my card. I would say I wouldn't know how it happened, but I do know because it was God. So if you all understand, I'm not rambling, going a little too far, too fast, too much for you. You can understand what I'm saying. Um, I would go to pay the other part and other half of that bill, and as I saw the money come in, went to pay the other half of the bill, and they were saying it was already paid, and I was like, I would look in the corner, and I would just stare in space with my mouth wide open, just flabbergasted. And I don't know why I was flabbergasted, because I was doing, the right things. I was being obedient, doing what God has said to do. But I'll tell you the truth, it threw me for a loop when I, watched some of the prophets, and they say that how God said that He's going to start wiping debts out, and He's going to start sending the transfer money, and different things like that. I definitely believe in it, because I believe God. I said, because I believe that God is, He can do all things, no matter what. And I have a call coming in. I hope it did not stop y'all from hearing me. So and that was another distraction. Devil, you are a liar. Um, yeah, I believe when I hear those type of things, because I know God can do all things. He's a faithful God. He's above all. So when God came through like that, I was so amazed. I was like, God, I know what you said, and I believed it already, but it's just like you work so fast. Like, wow. So I just was thanking God, and I was praising Him, and I'm like, man, it's like you're something. You're awesome. And if nobody don't believe in God, they need to get to know God and believe in Him, because I'm telling you the truth, He would never let you down like these calls, like no other. But I thank Him for everything. But even that, the following month, when I received that same electric bill, do you not know that I had the bill stated $7 on that bill? But I was going back and forth, going to call the numbers and the company, and just to make sure what the deal was. And I'm like, is this really so? And they're like, yes, this is all you owe. You owe seven, especially the automated system. I'm always going to the automated system when I don't have to talk to a customer service agent. And I did that, and that next bill was $7. That's all I had to pay for. An electric bill was $7. Because I mean, we don't keep, things at a high expense around here anyway. I've learned to preserve and whatnot, and honey, $7, honey, was right up my alley, because I'm like one of those bargainers anyway, shopping, gurus or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, moving on. Um, After electric bills and you know the big bills like that, which is the only one major big bill that I have, which is a blessing, and I thank God, because I keep up on the small ones as much as I possibly can, and then when I have those big ones, I kind of break them apart. And of course, I deal with a lot of things of catalogs and purchases and stuff like that. So I try to pray before I purchase things, and just get things that I know I need and whatnot. And some of the bills that I was paying, like catalog bills and different things like that, it was something in particular I wanted, and God knew the desire, and I wanted to be more healthier. I wanted to learn how to not learn, but I wanted to cook my own stuff. But yeah, then in some sense it was learning, but because it was learning in a crock pot, because we always do the stove top, and I'm doing it to save money and electricity, again, energy as well. So I did ordered this crock pot, might as well say it, and he led me to this company that I had dealt with years ago, and you have to look into it, as far as, and they had to look into if you're eligible for the credit, which I was. It came through my email that it's processed and I was eligible, and this crock pot was $75. You don't get a crock pot that cheap, that inexpensive, like anything. And this was very inexpensive. and it was the very type of crock pot that I wanted. That would you would set it and forget it. I've always wanted them for years. Even the kind that you take and carry, that you can lock down and everything. It came with a spoon, a dipping spoon, and everything. So I was just blessed. It's digital. So that was I actually still had to put a down payment down on it, which was $30. It came literally. I was about to pay the $30. Came literally through my email saying paid, already paid, like paid in full. I was like, what? They never had my credit card information or any of that I know of, because it was new all over again, from years ago. And I'm telling you the truth. It's some things that's really have been going on. I'm telling you, and things have been really been taken care of by my Father in heaven. So that's why I know I don't have to worry about anything. And then if you guys thinking you have to worry out here with what's going on, you don't. But in turn, you have to be upright before God. You have to be righteous before Him. You have to live righteous before Him. You can't do the worldly things that the world is doing. As again, the Bible speaks. We're in the world, but we're not of it. So, you have to be walking on not needles and pins or hot coal, but you have to walk a narrow walk, because this is a narrow walk with God. It's a narrow road. He said a few will find it. So, that's basically my testimony. But even in that payment that was already paid, I called again for this next month, which is this month now, which is March, to pay to start my payments or pay the other half. They're telling me I don't have to have a payment until April the 1st. I believe it was April the 1st. Yes. And there again, because I was about to pay the full amount, which I should have done, because this is what I always, normally do. I'll go ahead of myself. And I think still that's why, another reason why God, blesses, because, I was listening at Bossy's life. I watch her a lot. I love her so much. Such a good spirited person. And I watch her, and, she said, I'm going to take care of my bills. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take care of them, because, when all this ends still, you have to have bills. Bills still are coming. You have to pay them, and that's our job to do so. Labor, and pay those bills and take care of your family and your household. But I just want to end this video here, and I hope that you guys have been blessed by it, because, once you do the right thing, whether it's live upright, do charity work before God, not men, because God always get the glory out of everything that you do. Take care of the homeless, you guys. Take care of the fatherless, and take care of the widows, because these are the less fortunate of God, and God honors them. He looks down upon them. He loves all of them, and He would rather for you to give more than to receive. And it is a blessing to give more than you receive. I've been loving that. God has been faithful. He's been blessing the family with food, and I can share it with others, and I've been sharing it with others. And I just thank God that He is answering my prayers. These are the things that I've been wanting to do. But there are other things that I guess I could say, but I'm looking and moving forward to it. But I thank God for everything, and you guys stay blessed and faithful unto God as He is faithful unto you and us. Be blessed.